Hey guys, it's Arlen of Awakened Sponda, and I'm coming on real quick today to just share something that's been on my mind and on my heart. It's just a little creative analogy to kind of that I've been seeing, and maybe you can relate. Maybe it'll help you in some way. I don't know, but I felt led to share it. Because see, I work with people. I do sound meditation. So with that said, what happens when we're like, in sound meditation, kind of the ultimate the goal with the vibrations do many things, right? But if we just stick to thinking about the brain right now, what happens is we have right side of the brain, left side of the brain, um, and there's usually a bit of an imbalance between the sides of the brain, right? So what we do in sound meditation, what we're encouraging, what happens is the brain waves slow down. And when the brain waves slow down, your right left side of the brain come into a coherence, a harmony, a balance. And when this balance occurs, then what happens is the nervous system, because we have our central nervous system runs from our brain stem all the way down the neck, all the way down the body. So when it's able to come, our nervous system is able to come into balanced place, what happens is it repairs, it regenerates, it relaxes. So therefore, that's why you get so many benefits through meditation. You hear people talk about this all the time. I would think you would anyway. I do. And sound meditation is so powerful because it happens so much quicker because of the encouragement through the vibration and the sound. So it activates quicker, therefore you get results a lot faster than if you just sit in a silent meditation. However, the same thing will happen is the parasympathetic nervous system. Everything relaxes, right? And then everything's able to regenerate, repair, restore all the organs, all the cells, all the tissues, everything is all connected, and it connects to our brain. So, okay, with that said, so we're talking about right and left side of the brain coming into coherence. So my thought is if we think in this worldly level, plane, and we look at, we got this, what do we have? We have a right side and we have a left side in the politics right now, right? So when I look at this from my standpoint, I'm like, okay, how do we come into the coherence, right? Because really it's all one bird and we know this. I would hope we know this by now. I know people are so incredibly polarized though. I'm probably speaking to somebody out there that's still, you might be so polarized that you're so blinded you don't even realize you're polarized. That's what I'm seeing a lot of these days. It's just this like inability to get past any outside perception besides just this one-sided thinking. But so with that said, when I think about it in terms of like sound meditation and what I do and what meditation's all about and how it heals, I mean, what if we could come into this coherence, right? This energetic coherence, because everything is all energy. I know we love to look at things as this physical, everything's a physical thing. Everything is like happening out here. But no, it's really, it's all energy. And this is what I hope when we since we're burning everything down, when we redo this educational system, I don't know about you, but like in the new earth, like quantum physics will be science, okay? We're gonna get that going, like start that, because I think that would change so many people's perceptions of reality. And it would really ease people's, the resistance wouldn't be so damn, it would be more understood what happens when you create resistance, right? Because both sides need each other. Both sides need each other, guys. This isn't like it's not I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, you're wrong. That's an illusion. We need each other. So how do we come into this coherence? This is where the solution happens. And honestly, energetically, that's why I speak a lot about getting yourself in order, because you have to come into this self mastery, right? This understanding of your own energetic, taking responsibility for yourself, what you're consuming, how you're consuming it, what are you doing? You are the solution. This is the solution altogether. So this is why I always speak about people getting themselves. If you don't own this first, you can't do all this out here. It's not gonna happen. You can't make it. You can't force it to happen. It's not going to. Otherwise, you're gonna end up going backwards. You're gonna fragment more. Everything's gonna become more separated. That is not the ultimate goal. The goal is to come together in coherence and in harmony. So like I said, this is why I always speak about energetically getting yourself together. And I'm going to make a video on vibratory energetics because I speak a lot about that. If you go to my website, it's what you're going to hear a lot about. And it all has to do with our consumption. And when I say consumption, I'm not just talking about through the mouth. That's usually what you would quickly think of. That'd be the first thing you probably think of. But this is all part of, this is the very fundamental starting point to your inner work. Your inner work, as everybody talks about inner work, people go, what's that? I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, if you really want to be the change, if you really want to be the solution, it's time to go within. It's time to take responsibility for your own energy. Our energy, guys, is what makes these ships move. Like, we see everything as physical, but what would happen if we took the life force out of our body? We wouldn't be anything. We would be like, nothing, dead, done, flatline. So why haven't we, this should be a question I would hope you would ask, is why haven't we focused on that life force more? Why haven't we focused on that as the root? Why have we always focused like big pharma? It's because like the whole thing with big pharma is like, they're never focused on the root of the problem. They're always focused on the physical ailment, right? And physical ailment's the last thing. Energy is where it starts. The physical ailment's the last place it exits out. So, I mean, this to me is very, I've been doing this for a while. So to me, it's very like understood. But I know to a lot of people, you're still trying to understand it, or maybe you're still in your process of understanding how energy works and whatnot. And we're all learning. I mean, what I know is like this much in comparison to the whole. So I'm just where I am, but whatever. I'm going to share it because this is where I feel we've really been missing the mark. Okay, missing the mark, and what in Christianity they call it sinning, right? Missing the mark. We've been in this inversion. This inversion of reality, and that's why everything's always in resistance, always colliding and not coming together, right? Always it's dividing more instead of bringing it to that coherence that we need. So another thing I was thinking was, we got everybody like who's so polarized far on the left, people are so polarized far on the right, and then you got all the in-betweens. We got all these people in between, and then we got these people right in the middle. And the middle, to me, I see is like where the adept sits. It's where the adept is, where adepthood is, because you're observing everything, full spectrum. You're observing and you're seeing, and you take that in, and then you create, right? You create. We're not clawing at one side or the other. We're observing, and we're working in here internally. What can we do? All the ways when we're trying to fix things from an academia standpoint, constantly, that's all this world's ever done. And it seems to be looping into that again as this academia standpoint. Like, we got to start looking more at experiencers or experiences in our lives. We're all beautifully unique. We all come from different experiences. And so all of our perceptions are going to be a little different. And if we haven't sat and created the new neural pathways of thinking and of thought so that we can understand other people, because we can't just pick one person or one group of people or grouping that we've created, a grouping to be like, this is where we're at. And everybody else sucks. And if you believe this, then you just write people off. Like, you can't do that. That's not wholeness. And if you do that, you're writing off a piece of yourself as well. And that's where we really have to begin to understand that we're writing off pieces of ourselves when we write off a person that might be like somebody that really disgusts us, or we don't like what they stand for, or this is people all across the board, all shades, all colors, everybody has a struggle. Everybody's going through traumas. Everybody has these things. Okay? Everybody, all. And that's, I'm not even gonna go to like where I could go with that right now, but yeah. So being compassionate is something that comes with perception, and you can't just be if you're compassionate just towards one grouping of people and you can't be compassionate towards another, then you still have a lot to learn. You know, I've been learning this myself, so I know. And it's really hard to want to love people who just like are just like, yeah, you're like, I don't want to love them. Drive me crazy. You know, but this is part of mastering self, and these are things you learn through your process. And and you know, wow, you might be somewhere totally different than you were tomorrow when you begin to really use your thoughts to start questioning these realities around you. To not like get out the box of thinking you just got to follow your neighbor and follow what everybody's doing, and well, they say it, so it must be right. And people are just people. It doesn't matter what platforms they're on. It doesn't matter. We're all the same. We all have something to share and something amazing. And some of the most valuable words I've ever heard have not come from anybody who has any like big ass platform, you know, or like some heightened status. You know, guys, we got to really start transitioning our thinking and growing expanding those new neural pathways, and which comes through things like meditation. It's like, you know, listening, being able, teaching yourself how to listen to other people who maybe you haven't listened to, or maybe it's something that's like grinds against your, like, I don't want to listen to them. Maybe that's the exact person you need to listen to. You know, we all have to begin to hear, and you can't just hear from who you pick and choose to hear from. You have to begin to hear from everybody, you know, without getting angry. That's when you know you've really started to come into like more of a mastery of self, when you can just do these things and not be in such just anger and resistance. And when you can start seeing things from an outside perspective and go, okay, well, I see where that person's coming from, because I know that's where they are. So, okay, that's where they're coming from. And you're not mad at it. You're like, well, that's just where it is. Knowing that things can change at the drop of a dime. When you start really believing in miracles and really believing that things can I've seen magic happen in my life, like things that I could have never written myself. But this is once I started really coming into my energetics, my energetic body, getting to the root of who I am, of what's going on here in this body, this soul. Not this Arlen, and I don't even, you know, I'm not even gonna go there. Well, you know, let's appreciate everybody, okay? And let's learn about everybody, and let's learn beyond this linear logical thinking. We have to begin to open new neural pathways and perceptions to start seeing things in a more energetic fashion, a more energetic manner. This is where I'm coming from, and this is what you'll hear me speak about a lot. And so if you resonate with this, and listen, I'm not here to tell anybody anything. I don't want to, I'm not here for that. I wouldn't want to. Let me reiterate that. I'm just here simply for those who resonate with me, and this will be beneficial for you. And you know, family, tribe, like people who are on this path. There's a lot of people out there who are vibing with me, man. And so it's new earth. There's new things to learn. And we're just getting started. This is like, God, just getting started. So, yeah, if you resonate, you resonate. If you don't, just tune off. Totally fine. It's okay. I wouldn't even be mad at you for it. Not at all. So I love you guys, and let me know what you think about that. These are just my thoughts, and I just wanted to share, because that's what I'm here to do, because I can, and I will, so why not? I'm sending all the love. Yeah, wish you well. Have a great day. Happy solstice, happy summer solstice. Ooh, big one. Get on there. Do a ritual for yourself. All right. Peace and love. Bye.